Welcome to our YouTube channel, where we delve into captivating and thought-provoking topics concerning global affairs. In this informative video, what is Hamas? Unmasking the truth behind the controversial group, we provide an in-depth understanding of what Hamas truly represents. Join us as we embark on a detailed exploration of Hamas's ideology, origins, and objectives. Experts have extensively researched Hamas's history, including its significant impact on Middle Eastern politics. We will illuminate the group's role in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict and the broader regional dynamics. Hamas is often associated with Islamist and Palestinian nationalist ideologies. Their primary goal is establishing an Islamic state in historic Palestine and resisting Israeli occupation through various means, including armed struggle. We would like to encourage open dialogue and well-informed discussions in the comment section below. Subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell, and join us on a fascinating journey to gain valuable insights into the multifaceted world of Hamas. For far too long, Hamas has been a lightning rod for conflict in the Middle East. But what do we know about this controversial group? In this thought-provoking video, we'll deeply dive into Hamas and uncover the truth behind the organization that has captivated the world's attention. Hamas is a Palestinian political and military group with Islamist beliefs. The name Hamas stands for Harakat al-Muqawama al-Islamiyya, which translates to Islamic Resistance Movement. The group was founded in 1987 with the aim of freeing Palestine from Israeli occupation and establishing an Islamic state. One of the two largest political parties in Palestine, Palestine is divided into the West Bank and the Gaza Strip. The West Bank is controlled by a coalition called the POL, the Palestinian Liberation Organization, led by a party called Fatah, rules the West Bank. Hamas controls the Gaza Strip. This group is ideologically and politically motivated. It rules a population of more than 2 million Palestinians and calls itself the face of the Palestinian movement. In 1967, during the Six-Day War, Israel won and they took over Palestinian territory. This group was founded by Ahmed Yassin, a Palestinian scholar and cleric. 2 decades later, Yassin established Hamas, and Palestinians rose against Israel's occupation in 1987. The movement was called the First Intifada, or the First Uprising. There was a series of violent protests and attacks targeting Jews in Israel. 1 year later, Hamas published its charter, which called for Israel's destruction and establishing an Islamic society in historic Palestine. Hamas continued the attacks. They reportedly resorted to suicide bombings, rocket attacks, and small arms attacks that targeted civilians. The international community designated Hamas as a terrorist group over the years. It tried to morph itself into a political party, but it kept a military wing, a political party with a military wing that they call themselves. This wing was to carry out attacks against Israel. Hamas created a top-down government approach. At the top was the Political Bureau, a 15-member body that operates in exile. They have the Shura Council. Its members are unknown, but this council elects the Political Bureau. It also oversees some welfare programs in the West Bank and Gaza. Then there is the Hamas government, which implements policies and agendas set by the Shura Council. Hamas has a representative face, Ismail Haniyeh. He's the designated chairman of Hamas and operates from Qatar's capital, Doha. Hamas leaders have made Qatar their workplace because they had a falling out with their previous host, Syria. So, who supports and funds Hamas on the geopolitical level? Where do they get their money and weapons from? Qatar is an outright supporter apart from hosting the leaders of Hamas. Qatar sends millions of dollars to the group. In 2021, the Qatar government announced aid worth $360 million for Hamas. They has never given accountability for that money. Then there is Turkey, whose President Erdogan supports this organization. Tayyip Erdogan openly supports the Palestinian cause, and Turkey has repeatedly sent funds to Hamas. Hamas has established offices in Istanbul, and in July, the Turkish President Tayyip Erdogan hosted the chief of Hamas. Even now, after the attacks on Israel, Erdogan does not condemn them for their actions. Erdogan calls on all sides to act with restraint, without mentioning how Hamas escalated hostilities and endangered thousands of civilians. Despite Erdogan's open embrace of Hamas, he's not their top supporter. That title goes to Iran, which provides Hamas with funds, weapons, and military training. It is a regular occurrence for Hamas leaders to hold meetings with Iranian leaders and clerics. According to a United States Department of State report, Iran provides nearly $100 million annually to Hamas. What about the weapons? There's no clarity on how many they give or what kind, but here's what the Hamas chief says. Iran is their most significant donor of weapons. The leaders of Hamas frequently travel to Iran to plan attacks against their mutual adversary, Israel. Although they claim that their actions are not on behalf of Iran, it is clear that the two groups maintain a close relationship. American sanctions have pressured Iran to reduce its funding to Hamas, but their partnership persists. According to a poll conducted in June by the Palestinian Center for Policy Research, only 31% of the people living in Palestine believe that Hamas should represent them. This raises the question of how the majority of the Palestinian population views the Hamas organization. A recent survey shows that 73% of Palestinians do not support Hamas as their representative. Interestingly, the same survey also found that 73% of respondents reported widespread corruption in the institutions controlled by Hamas in Gaza. This indicates that the people of Gaza have little faith in the ability of Hamas to govern efficiently. Over the years, Hamas has established itself as the governing force in the Gaza Strip, repressing political opposition and maintaining strict control over the region. While they have kept their popularity up through social services and calls to raise militias against Israel, their latest move may have gone too far. Hamas has launched a full-scale military operation against Israel. Is it possible that Hamas could be facing its end? Critics argue that Hamas's tactics, including targeting civilians, are unjustifiable and hinder peace. They accuse the group of promoting violence and extremism. It's worth noting that Hamas is viewed as a terrorist organization by several countries, such as Israel, the United States, and the European Union. Nevertheless, it's essential to acknowledge that other nations and entities hold a different perspective on Hamas, often highlighting its role as a resistance movement. Supporters argue that Hamas is a legitimate resistance movement defending Palestinian rights against Israeli occupation. The issue of Hamas's status is complex and divisive, offering no easy solutions. It is crucial to examine the historical context, political dynamics, and social impact to truly understand the group. Hamas is a multifaceted group that has a notable influence on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict and the wider Middle East area. While this video provides a fundamental introduction, I urge you to examine this subject from various viewpoints in order to gain a more complete understanding. Kindly remember to subscribe to our channel. Give us a thumbs up and share the video if it has been helpful to you. Thank you for watching.